The Legend of Black Monk House, The Curse of the Masked Monk. Nestled in the isolated countryside of Lancaster, England, Black Monk House has stood for centuries as a relic of a forgotten era. Built in the 16th century as a small monastery, its walls were meant to protect men of faith from the outside world, offering them a place for prayer and reflection. However, as the years passed, it became the epicenter of sinister whispers and horrific rumors. The monks who lived there began noticing strange occurrences. Candle flames would flicker violently without any wind. Strange, scratching sounds echoed in the dead of night, and sometimes the ringing of a bell could be heard, even though the monastery had no bell tower. The most unsettling figure, though, was a mysterious monk who rarely spoke, kept to himself, and always seemed to vanish during mass prayers. His presence became more eerie after the disappearance of a local village girl. The Black Monk, as he was called by the other monks, was a man who joined the monastery seeking refuge from the harsh judgment of the outside world. It was said he was accused of terrible sins, though no one could ever confirm the truth. One dark night, a girl from a nearby village was reported missing. The girl, known for her beauty and kindness, had been visiting the monastery, delivering bread to the monks. Days passed and her family began to panic. Despite countless searches by villagers, she was never found. Whispers soon began that she had entered the monastery on the night of her disappearance and never left. Fearing the worst, the townspeople demanded an explanation from the monks, but they denied knowing anything about her. In the dead of night, a few brave villagers stormed the monastery, searching the halls and hidden rooms, but they found nothing. Yet one thing became clear. The Black Monk had mysteriously vanished, leaving behind an empty cell and a single black mask, resting on the altar of the chapel. As the villagers left, a terrible storm rolled in, lightning striking the stone walls of the monastery as if nature itself was angered. It was during this storm that one of the monks confessed the terrible truth. The Black Monk had abducted the girl, locking her in a dungeon beneath the monastery where he performed horrific rituals. His goal was to summon dark forces that would grant him immortality. The other monks were horrified and took matters into their own hands. They bricked him up alive in one of the dungeon's walls, cursing him for his deeds. But even as the stones were placed around him, the monk's voice echoed through the monastery, chanting strange incantations. "You think you've buried me, but I will rise again," he warned. Shortly after the monk's death, the monastery began to crumble from within. The villagers claimed the building was cursed, and soon after, it was abandoned. Over time, the once grand building decayed, but the Black Monk's presence remained strong. Fast forward to the early 1900s. The Greenwood family, unaware of the house's dark history, purchased the crumbling monastery to renovate it into a grand estate. For the first few weeks, everything seemed peaceful. They loved the isolated beauty, the serene countryside, and the idea of turning this ancient building into their new home. But soon, strange things began to happen. At night, Mr. Greenwood would hear the clanging of metal, as if someone was dragging heavy chains across the floor. Mrs. Greenwood noticed the strange cold spots in the house. Despite their attempts to modernize the home with heating, their children would wake up in the middle of the night, screaming about a man with a mask standing at the foot of their beds. One evening, while entertaining guests, the Greenwoods witnessed something that terrified them to their core. The family and their friends gathered in the grand dining hall for dinner. As they dined, they noticed a chill that spread through the room. Suddenly, one of the large, heavy paintings fell from the wall with a deafening crash, revealing a hidden passage behind it. The guests were terrified, but curiosity led Mr. Greenwood to investigate. What he found sent shivers down his spine. A narrow tunnel that led deep into the earth. At the end of the tunnel was a bricked-up chamber, and scrawled across the wall in a language he couldn't understand was a single black handprint. The family left the house the next day. Despite the house's terrifying history, it continued to draw attention from those fascinated by the supernatural. In 1993, a team of renowned paranormal investigators entered the house, determined to uncover the truth. They spent the first night recording audio, but the strange occurrences only escalated. One investigator reported seeing a black-clad figure standing in the hallway, its face hidden beneath a mask. As he moved closer, the figure vanished into the shadows. On the second night, the team set up cameras and motion detectors throughout the house. Around 2 a.m., the temperature in the main hall plummeted suddenly, and all the detectors went off simultaneously. Rushing to the scene, the investigators found one of their team members lying on the floor, gasping for breath. He described a horrifying experience. He had been pinned to the ground by an unseen force, unable to move or speak. Above him, a figure loomed, wearing a black monk's robe and staring at him through the cold eyes of a mask. Terrified and shaken, the team left Black Monk House, convinced that the cursed spirit of the Black Monk still roamed its halls. Years passed, and the house remained abandoned, its reputation as one of England's most haunted locations only growing. Some say the Black Monk's spirit is tied to the dungeon beneath the house, where his vile rituals once took place. Others believe the curse will only lift if the girl's remains are given a proper burial. But her body has never been found. Today, Black Monk House stands as a chilling reminder of its dark past. Shadows seem to move on their own, cold drafts pass through even on warm summer days, and the faint sound of chanting echoes late at night. Some dare to explore its haunted corridors, but few stay for long. The curse of the Black Monk lingers, and the sinister presence of the masked monk ensures that no one will ever rest easy inside its walls. Thank you for watching this story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any new creepy legends and mystical tales. There's a lot more to come, so stay tuned and be ready for more encounters with the unknown.